back, fellas, to Casket's Fab Shop here on YouTube. We're here up in Casket Customs, my home shop, and today we are going to start on video number 2 of the 36 convertible. So, before we get started, let me show you guys the few things I got to wrap up at some point this week. Before we get started on this 36, I want to show you the few little things that I got to get done this week, okay? That was stupid. I don't know why I said that twice. But here we go. So anyway, guys, basically, let me see. So anyway, fellas, I gotta wrap this up for the dreadful 66 Mustang. When we start throwing some primer on that car, on the Monte Carlo, to wrap that up, I'm gonna put some primer on these, and then I gotta paint these that suede red again. And then I also got some stuff from Phil from the 57. I guess when I gave this to him, I didn't realize there was overspray all over the damn thing, so it's not even really shiny. So instead of me just waxing it, I mean, I probably can. I'm going to just scuff it because I got to paint this, which I forgot to do. I'm going to put some flake on this anyways and have to clear that. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of clear and throw a couple little coats on that as a flow coat. Because I flow coated the dash and I flow coated the top, so it would make sense to flow coat that piece too, right? So I'm going to go ahead and wrap those up for Phil this week. Sometime this week, I'm hoping. I got a 4-day week. Today is my Friday at work, so I still do have to go to work, but I'm going to put a couple hours in outside on 36, which is a stupid idea because it's cold and it's windy. I don't know where that came from, but it is, it's chilly. So I actually gotta go find me a jacket. Yeah, so anyways, we'll wrap those parts up for Phil. We'll wrap up these parts for the Mustang dude. And he also brought me a steering wheel. So, I guess you guys want to laugh. Let's see here. It's brand new, and he told me he wanted me to paint it black. Yeah, but anyways, the funny thing is, I thought the same thing. He says, yeah, bro, can you paint this black? I'm like, sure, bud. And then I opened it, it's black. So then I remember he said that it needed to be suede. I was like, no. Yeah. Because the whole car, everything is suede now. The paint is suede. All the bumpers, all the emblems, all the little knickknacks, paddywhack, give your dog a bone is all black suede. And the top is a black Phantom top. That car looks sick. And the crazy thing is, don't like Mustangs, but the funny thing is I actually do like the car, even though it gave me a hard time. I guess after a little bit of time away from it, I guess I'm not mad at it anymore. I don't know, you know, it's kind of like when you get in a fight with your old lady, you know, you just go outside and a little while later you forgot about it, I guess. But you know, the funny thing about that car is, you know, that car gave me such a hard time. I mean, they all do, guys. Every one of them will always give you a hard time at some point or another. But like I said, guys, this is where we are in the shop with some minor stuff, little detail here before we even get started on the video. All right. So that's where we are here. Monte Carlo. Before we go outside and freeze our buttocks off, I want to show you guys what's been going on the Monte. Alright, so Monte Carlo. Here we are, guys. Remember I told you it looked like shit? Well, there you go. See what I mean? It looked like a lot, but it wasn't. Once you block it flat, it mellows itself out. This quarter is just about ready for a reprime. Got to finish down there. Top's ready to go. Got to finish the catwalk, and this back piece A few things on the other side. Looks just like this. And then we're going to re-spot prime it, which usually my spot priming is a lot less stuff, but this one had a lot more. So I'm going to give this whole quarter and that rocker a good couple coats. And then everything else will get a good couple spot prime. This had a lot more on it across the whole thing. So instead of causing waves, I'd rather just throw a couple more coats of primer and block that back flat again. We should have no issues, but GoPro decided to do what it wanted to do, so I don't even know where I stopped talking, which doesn't really matter, right? So, welcome back to video number 2 of the 36. Like I said, today I have a couple hours to throw in. I'm going to work on the 36, and basically my 4 days off, I'm going to go ahead and slap that straight down on trying to work on the Monte Carlo. Basically that's where we're at, guys. Yeah, I need to get this chassis out of here. So video 1, we did a lot of work. Man, it's windy out here and it's freaking cold, dude. Video 1, we got a lot of shit done on the 36, guys. We ripped off all the fenders, the rocker panels, or the running boards, I should say. So we ripped off the fenders, the running boards, the hood, the grill, the horns. We took the seat out of it. We took all the seat out. We realized that we are going to need full floor pan replacement, which is totally fine. I'm going to buy the kit that comes in. There's 2 different kits. You can buy this entire piece in one shot right here, which isn't a bad idea. But the upper pan you gotta make. It's just, it doesn't make sense. So the pans will end up stopping at that point there, just like they do now. And those little toe boards were wood, which I'm not going to put wood, I'm going to make them metal. So at that point I would have to redo just that section in metal, that section in metal, and then I'd have to make my own tunnel pan here for my transmission. So the other kit is a half kit, which comes with the floor pans, the tunnel made for a small block, which I'm putting in here. These pans come up right about here underneath the seat, and that's where they stop. That is the front kit. So basically the full kit here, these are 200 and some a piece. If you buy this one and that one, it's like $400, and it does both of these long pans, no tunnel. Okay, the other kit that's set up for a small block, that's a half pan set, that is $320 just for the half pan set. And then it's another, I think, 300 or a couple hundred for the back half, which goes from here to there, and it comes with those corners and the tunnel. So I'm gonna just go ahead and buy the 2 sets. I know it's more expensive and it's probably more work because there's more pieces involved, but it's all gonna matter up front when I put my small block in. I already have a transmission pan, a tunnel, and metal floor pans. So I'm just gonna go with the more expensive kit, and we'll do that. Of course, this board is actually in good shape. It's not bad at all. It's solid. It's not rotted out. So I'm gonna try to just reuse that. I might not even put those in new. It just depends when I start ripping this out how they look, because honestly, well, yeah, if they're welded into this piece here, this piece is crusty, and that piece there is the rear seal. So I don't know, because there's a little bit of rust right there, but that's very minimal, you know. It just depends. I don't know, because back there's rotted out on the lip where this stuff pinch welds. The trunk pan is a whole separate setup, which I don't even think that trunk pan looks very bad. Honestly, it's not bad at all. I don't see any rust through spots, and it's not thick enough rust that looks like it's going to be like a pitting problem. I think this can just be sandblasted, and we should be good. It's weird, but the only rot in this trunk is in that lip in the back. So I will replace that back center, and then I know down there in the caverns, that rear tail pan on all these cars always rot out. So that is going to need to be replaced, and the reason why I know is because the guy I bought it from told me that he did a little bit of patchwork back there. I did look in there. Yes, it has patchwork, and it's got some screws sticking through it, so I know he put like some self-tappers and mudded over the metal panel that he put in there, and they also use that spray foam there and there to seal those. And some people repair things like that. I mean, I get what they were doing. They were trying to make it look a little bit better, you know, to hide stuff. But I mean, sometimes people do fix stuff like that. You would spray the spray foam in there. When it comes through the other side, you sand it flat, fiberglass it, paint it. If you don't know how to weld, that's how some people fix this stuff. They use the spray foam as a barrier to hold it, and then they fiberglass over it and bodywork it. It's a quick, easy way to do things, especially if you're just going to flip it and somebody doesn't care to fix it properly or just wants to drive it and enjoy it and it doesn't matter to them. It's a quick, efficient way to do it. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I've personally never done that. Actually, you know what? I have done that. I have done that. One time on a Blazer rocker that the customer didn't want to fix. He just wanted me to mud over it, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to fiberglass to it, so I did that. I stuffed that shit in there and I fiberglassed the piss out of it, and it looked perfect, but he didn't want to pay for the rockers or the hours for me to fix it. So I guess I have done it. But this car's not going to get that kind of treatment. So, you know, we're going to go from there. We've established the car does have a little bit of some minor shit going on. So they do sell this rear section here from like right here back that goes across. We're not going to need that much. I don't know how bad it is until I start stripping it, but I think it's all right in here from what I could see on the inside, in the depths of hell in there. Another thing is, I already got hit in the head with this trunk really hard one time, so I learned my lesson. Lock. Okay. Trunk. Very simple. We'll fix this. We'll fix that. We'll fix this and that over there and that there. We'll fix all that. It's not like we haven't done it before. But guys, like I was trying to explain to you too, that this whole section right here, see that hump? That's where your pumpkin is for your rear end. And basically this whole section right here, where that's right where that is, all the way across, is gonna get cut out. And you will see my rear end down there. Yeah, you're gonna see my nalgas. No, the rear end will show down there because it's gonna get C-notched, and this whole thing needs to be cut out so the C-notches stick in the trunk, and this car will lay all the way down to its rocker on the suelo. So with that being said, we'll cut that out soon. Another thing is, we'll cut it out when I take the body off, but there's 2 bolts back here I'm gonna need to access today, and those bolts are gonna be the body bolts. So I don't know if I'm gonna take these rear fenders off. I didn't really want to, but I might do it. I'm not sure. We did see that this had a little bit of a patch that's gonna need to be patched right here. No big deal. Gotta do the same on my 40. Maybe here, definitely right here, right here. You know, the car is a pre-war car, guys, that sat in New Jersey in a garage for centuries, decades, or whatever. I don't remember what the hell the story said. There's a story on Hemmings Motors about this car, and it is not the car or a car. Damn it. This is could take some getting used to. Alright guys, sorry, this camera mount thing that I've got is gonna take some getting used to for sure. It's one of those gimbals, and you can switch it back and forth by clicking buttons and all kinds of stuff, and it's really neat, but it's very frustrating. I'm not a nerd, so stuff like this may end up in the street and someone will run over it. But anyway, back to the story. If you guys want to read about this specific car, this car, not a car or a car like the car or a car similar to the car, it is this car that you're looking at right now, right here. This is the car in the story that was found in New Jersey for decades in a garage. Hemmings Motors has the full story on this car, this exact car. This is the car. So my friend David is the one that was able to get the car, transport it from New Jersey here, and when it arrived, they did a little bit of painting and a little bit of things to fix it, do little things here and there, right? And then from that point, they decided to sell it. So it was for sale for a good bit, I guess, apparently, and a few of my friends tried to buy it that I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was for sale until we got to this swap meet. And there it was. I knew I was not leaving without it. And here it is. So, we are in video number 2, guys. I know I'm rambling, giving you a little bit more story about the car, but we need to get our asses in gear. The sun is kicking right now on this side, which is nice, but the wind is also blowing this way, which sucks ass. The car's in a little pocket. So what I did this week while I was out running around, I obtained some freaking bricks. Yes, I bought 20 bricks, and the reason for it is I'm going to unbolt this chassis from this car, and we are going to go ahead and jack the car up and stick some metal bars across and put bricks on both sides, far spread apart. And we're going to slowly lift the back and the front, front to back, front back, all the way up until we get the body off high enough to roll this chassis right out. And then when I pull this chassis on Mr. Trailer here, take that to the front, then from that point, we're going to bring the body cart and we're going to roll it right under this thing, and we're going to make some mounts that weld strictly to the body mounts of this body. Okay? Probably the front mounts, probably the back mounts. We're a nice metal bar straight across, welded with some plates, and those plates will weld to the body cart. So this thing is solid, it won't move. And that's where it's going to live its life for a little while. Let's do it. Let's get into the video. I've been rambling for about half an hour when I only have about an hour to work. So let's get started. I'm going to go swap batteries on this GoPro. And then we're going to take off these last few bolts, and we're going to go from there. Welcome back to video number 2 on the 36 Ford. Alright guys, let's get started. So one new feature here, CASKET'S Fab Shop, is I don't need a cameraman anymore. Bobby, you're fired. So I ended up buying this gimbal thing from GoPro, and it wasn't cheap. I'm not a nerd, so I don't know how to use it very well, but I figured it out this far, and it basically tracks you. And it's very confusing to use, but it works. So now I can walk around and work, and it'll follow me while I'm working. So yeah, you're fired, Bobby, you're fired. guys, having a bunch of issues today with this camera. So basically where we're at is let's see here, we got a lot of stuff done. We cut a lot of the body bolts off. So I put the convertible rack back up. Hold on. I put the rack back up just to hold the body solid so my doors will continue to close, but it needs to come off. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grind this here. I'm gonna weld from here down to this corner with this bar to brace this cowl from doing this and keeping my cowl where it's supposed to be. And then from there I'm gonna weld one from here across to there on that side and back, and then we'll do the same on the other side. I think those right there alone should be okay. There's still a lot more body bolts I'm sure I'm gonna find in here, but it's been pretty crusty. So now that's where we are. So let's go ahead and start welding some stuff in. Once we weld these braces in, guys, we can start trying to remove this body and see what happens. If the doors tweak, then they tweak, so be it. That means that, well, it's on the body cart, we retweak it back and set everything right and level it, which is gonna have to be done anyway because the doors ain't perfect, but at least they'll stay and not tweak so bad. The doors do need to be slightly tweaked and they need to be taken off anyways, so I could fix some stuff on the bottom, a little bit of rust. But what I mean is that we're gonna go ahead and retweak this body while it's on that chassis table and get it right, get my doors dead on right, and then make sure everything is solid before we weld those new floors in anyways, because that structure with the structure of the inner structure and the floors and all that is going to be the base of what needs to hold this thing together and correct, because it doesn't have a top. So in the meantime, you know, all that's going to get retweaked and slightly adjusted, and then those bars will get re-welded solid, you know, for the rest of the process when we go to put this thing back on the frame. Once it's back on the frame and that's where it's going to sit permanently, that's when we can start kind of making some final adjustments. But it's all trial and error, guys. You know, if you do this every day, you may have a different theory or a different way of doing it, but I don't. So this is how I do it. If it works, it doesn't. If it doesn't work, I do it a different way until it works. So for right now, I'm gonna weld that shit up and get that stuff together, and we're gonna go from there. Alright guys, it's been a mission today with this damn camera. I don't know what's going on with it. Batteries keep dying, it just keeps shutting off. This, I don't know, this thing I'm using is a pain in the ass. I was at it all day, guys. I literally, I'm thrashed, and This car's ate my lunch. I didn't realize how many bolts there was on these damn cars, but holy shit, there's piles of bolts, piles and piles and piles of bolts. I tried to take the fender or the body off. I couldn't do it. So started investigating a little further. Come to find out there's more body bolts that I missed that I ended up getting a bunch of them out. There's still a couple on the passenger side I got to get out, but on the other hand, I had to take the rear fenders off too. Yeah, so that's another thing, guys. These damn fenders, I guess apparently the body is bolted all the way across and the fenders bolted all the way through. So yeah, you have to take it off. Unless, I mean, I guess you don't, because you just gotta undo those. But there's a couple mounts that hold the fender back here. I'm not sure exactly, but either way, all those stupid freaking holes down here on the bottom had to be taken out, all of them. Of course, I put the top back up just to give it some more structure, but as you can tell, I welded this in here. I welded it here to this corner, and I welded one from this corner down to that side, and one across back to this side. That way this can't push this way, this can't push that way, and this whole section here can't go this way. It works pretty decent for now. My door's still closed. The gap's still the same way it was before. The only thing is that this gap has always been way bigger than it should be, and that's a little tight. So yeah, we'll deal with that later. It's just I needed some bracing to keep it somewhat where I needed it. I think after now, I got a few more to do on the other side. Of course, take the other fender off. I think we got it. If we don't, I don't know what the hell else is holding this thing together, but yeah, there's a few body bolts that I missed. One in this corner. There's that one right there. And then I got to do a whole arch back in the back, plus all those fenders. Yeah, I've been grinding and cutting all day, but everything is where it needs to be. I mean, I have gutted and completely tore anything that's connected or anything that I can find. This door closes good, but the gaps, it's lined up right, but this gap's always been really tight on this one, and this one has the bigger gap on the back. So we'll address all that, because these need to be replaced, of course, and some part of the door and even part of the inner structure on this is going to need a little bit of metal work, which is fine. I mean, it's all I've been doing is metal work, so I might as well just keep on going. This whole section is going to need to be rebuilt, because that A-pillar is completely shit on the bottom, and it's been filled with stuffing and Bondo to make it look like it's good, and it's just not good. But all that will get fixed when I put the new pan on it. The new pans, all this stuff. We'll clean up these body mounts, new seals, you know, new rockers. We're gonna go from there, but for now, that's where we are. It was a lot of work today, guys. Like, I really thought that I was gonna be getting this body off today and this chassis rolled out, and as I started digging in, guys, I realized real fast it's not gonna happen. And I've been out here all day long. It's about almost 5 o'clock. We'll figure it out either way. This is video number 2, and I'll continue this video tomorrow. Catch you tomorrow. Alright guys, I got that fender off. It actually wasn't that bad. Came off pretty smooth. I'm gonna start jacking this thing up and seeing if it comes off. I got the other side off just a little bit. I don't know why that just sounds nasty, but I got this off. I'm not worried about crushing the piss out of that, because I'm gonna cut it off and put a new panel there anyway. It's already completely shitty and someone filled it with foam. So yeah, put the block, and we're gonna slowly continue on both sides, little by little, until we get it where we want it. So I'm gonna leave you guys on the regular now. For now, just to watch me struggle. Yeah. Just hope this all comes out so we can start getting this thing frame ready to go where it needs to go, and then when we get an opportunity, I'll start fixing patch panels on this car and doing things from there. This one's going to take me a little longer than I thought because of all of the crustiness I gotta fix. But hey, it's a convertible, guys. I'm happy with it. I'm not gonna complain because it's what I've always wanted. I guess I could have finished my 40, sold that sucker for big money, went and bought one of these completely done, but you know, it's crazy. I seen one in Long Beach, no, Santa Maria. It wasn't for sale, but the 3-window bagged, completely done up, the guy wanted 55 grand for it. So imagine what a rag would have costed me. Yeah. There is a lot going on here. Yeah, we're gonna tear the hell out of this poor car. But it's gotta be done. You're gonna tear it apart like a mother. Rip the hell of thing apart to get it off of there. It's the only other option. Doesn't want to break free. Alright, fellas. Well, it has been one hell of a day. And of course, I'm always out here by myself. And we made a little bit of progress. You ready for it? Yeah, that thing took some manhandling. There was still 2 or 3 bolts in the back behind the bumper that attached this car, and God, I could not get them off. Save my life, dude. But they're all off. Everything's off. Everything is detached. It is completely off the frame. This took me a while to go in circles jacking this thing up and trying to move it in and out. So now the ticket is to see if I can pull this thing out. I don't know if I can. Let's give it a whack. It's locked up, that's for sure. Whoa! What's hitting? Oh, I see it. Let me grab the sawzall. Well, guys, this has been the most, I should say, the absolute hardest car I've ever had to pull apart. Who needs that gas tank? There's a hole in the bottom of it anyway. I did not think I was be able to do this, guys. This is insane, bro. That's as far as she's gonna go. Well, I'll be damned. Sometimes you just gotta be smart, especially when you're the solo cholo out here doing shit by yourself. Doing big dog shit. So, here it is. For yourself. Video 2, the 36. I finally made it. Holy moly, bro. I'm telling you, if you ever ask me to take a 36 Ford apart again, fuck you. I'll do it for myself, but that's it. Fuck that. That shit's impossible, bro. I'm gonna tell you, there's so many goddamn bolts. Every one of these holes, 90% of these bolts, I had to cut off. I had to heat them and cut them off all through here. Even those two down there, there's two. Back there, these two, it was a chore. I'm telling you, it was like no other. Here was stuck. Shitty thing, look, these were spot welded. So this brace was supposed to come off with the floor, but it didn't. And somehow I must have cut it off in the center. Well, I did. I had to cut this out because it wouldn't come out. But there we are, guys. I mean, the frame is crusty, but once it's sandblasted, it's not going to be that bad. You know, I'm just thankful that it's still solid. It's not really bad. I mean, it's still strong. It's still got a thickness to it, got good strength. If there's any weakness to it, I'll box it. I may just box a few things. I may run some plates across the top, maybe a couple plates in the centers of these here. I'm gonna leave that there, of course, for the muffler, but up front here I may run a little plate. Maybe where it connects, I'll run a small plate there. We'll see what happens. I know one of these is rotted out. It's this one here, but this is where the battery box used to be. So this is very simple to remake. I can remake that all day. Battery box ain't even gonna go there, so I could just make something else. And then that one actually doesn't look too bad. But there it is, fellas. Now the next thing to do is we're gonna get that Monte Carlo going, and then when I'm ready to pull this in the shop, I'll pull it in and yank this engine out real quick, throw it on that trailer, and then this chassis is ready to go. There's a few things I do need to take off before I take it. Of course, I'll probably take these braces off. Drive line will come off. Engine will come out. Let's see here. All the random crap that's on here that doesn't need to be here. You know, these are pads that you can reorder that go in between the chassis. And yeah, a lot of this shit is just crusty. But it's gonna look nice once it's done. Once it's sandblasted, I'll see how bad it is. And if I decide to skim it because of the pitting, I'll probably epoxy the piss out of it, high build the piss out of it. And if I gotta lay a skim on it, I may skim the sides of it just to make it look prettier and then go from there. But I'm happy so far, so good. Once this goes to Jason, them wheels and tires will go on the 32. And all the running gear to this 36 is gonna go on that trailer in the front for now. And we'll figure out what to do with it from there. But I was actually thinking this was going to be a lot worse than it is. So I'm happy it's not that bad. That's how you take this damn thing. I couldn't figure them out. I couldn't see the bolts from underneath there. I'm probably gonna go with an original gas tank. I'll probably buy a new one, same freaking thing, same style, run it the same way. That way I don't have to mess with anything else in the trunk. It sits high enough in here, it's not gonna drag or anything like that. So I'll probably use the same parts. This cross member is gonna be gone for sure, because all that suspension goes. That rear cross member will probably be gone. Jason will probably build a new one, or it may come with one for the 2-link, or you may just leave that in it. I don't know. But anyways, guys, there it is. 36 is off, and that's where we're gonna end video number 2. So for now, what I think I'm gonna do for video number 3, guys, is I am going to take yeah, look at this before we go. Truck it's not hooked up to nothing, just hooked up the battery, put some bricks so it wouldn't roll back, and stood about halfway back, and it worked. So anyway, guys, I think what I'm gonna do for video number 3 is we'll pull this chassis up front, of course, to yank this engine out and do the rest of that shit. And I'm gonna have to use the trailer, yank it on the trailer, put it up front, unload it, and then we're gonna load the body cart that's up front, bring that back here, unload it, slide it under, and then we're gonna make some mounts for this thing. So when I roll the chassis table underneath it, I'm gonna lower this to see where it's gonna sit. And basically what I'm gonna do is probably make a plate with a little stub, and well, it sits higher. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. So with these pipes, I'm gonna probably run one of those pipes across the chassis table itself, and then I might make a mount that goes to this with the stub that goes down and welds to the top of one of those, and that will hold it up front. And then that goes across here, I will weld it to the chassis table. So we can just unbolt this if we need to, but of course we're gonna need to unbolt things because I'm gonna have to do some tweaking. This door completely tweaked on me, but I knew it was gonna happen because this is all rotted out, and that whole floor is just shit. So look how far the door moved. Yeah, it was bad. Well, this too is kind of all caved in because all this is rotted underneath the floor pan. It's gonna take some work, guys, but basically, I mean, the car itself is not bad. It's a solid car. It's just got rust in all the right places, you know. So there's gonna be some shit fixed here. Of course, the gas tube comes right through here, so I'll have to remake this, but the gas tube comes through here. All this shit is cherry. Just freaking blast it real good. There's no rot up in here. Yeah, pretty much whatever pieces they make for this car is what I'm gonna buy for it. Cut it out and replace it. That way this car is all brand new, because this is a keeper, boys. Same thing with these panels. See how bad they are? Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see, look at that. Yep, here it is in the flesh. So, alright, enough rambling. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll put the body cart on. Video number 3, we'll put the body cart, move this chassis, yank the motor out. Video 3, we'll get this thing to the sandblaster. So I wanted to tell you guys, thank you again for subscribing to me, for following. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. And this build's gonna continue. This is just the start of my 2026. So once this goes to the sandblaster, we're gonna pull the 32 in and the 40 and get going on both of those cars too. So we got a lot of shit to do this year, guys, and it's all my rides. They're all gonna get done, and we're on a mission. We're on a mission. So All right, fellas. So stay tuned for video number 9 on the Monte Carlo. That should be coming out a week after this one hits. So I will catch you guys on whatever video posts next, most likely Monte Carlo. Peace out.